Well, let's go, I guess, bracket by bracket, starting with the West. Guys, looking, if you guys have it pulled up or have it somewhere, out of these teams in the West, I guess ranked 1 through 4, Gonzaga all the way up through Virginia. You have Iowa as well as Kansas. Out of those teams, what team do you think is built to make the biggest run? Is it as simple as being Gonzaga?
I think they have the easiest route. Yeah, Gonzaga.
I mean, it seems that obvious, right? But then it also comes down to, like Jacob said, like with strength of schedule, we saw them just struggle against BYU in the West Coast championship game. And BYU's just a 6 seed. So it makes you wonder if that's going to catch up to them, especially playing, alternate nights, not really having too much time, something like that. Luke, what do you say? Gonzaga, or are you going with one of the others?
I'm gonna take Gonzaga. I also have Gonzaga as my number 1 seed, and Baylor is my number 2. It's a little bit of flip flopped on Matt's. Gonzaga actually took care of West Virginia, who I believe is a 3 seed. I believe they took care of Iowa, who's a 2 seed. So they've beaten some top tier teams. And then when they got to regular season schedule, obviously the West Coast isn't that great. But I think Gonzaga has a path to run to the national championship, and I think they're going to be there.
Yeah, no, I think that's the most obvious answer. I don't think there's been an undefeated national champion since like Michigan a ton of years ago. I don't even know the direct or the actual season, but I know it's few and far between. So if they do win, it's not like it happens pretty often. And they do have a pretty good route. Creighton is the 5 seed on that side of the bracket. Virginia has been struggling down the road as the 4 seed. USC coming out of the Pac-12, I don't really trust them. And Kansas, Iowa is a good team, but Matt, you said something the other night. The Luka Garza is like their whole offense.
Yeah, pretty much. If he has a good game, I'm not saying that Iowa completely runs their game around Garza, but if he has a good game, that's just going to boost their confidence that they're going to have a good team. They're a great team. They're an absolute powerhouse in the Big Ten. So potential Elite 8 rematch between Gonzaga and Iowa for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be definitely interesting to see. Now, out of the teams from 5 or lower, any of you guys got anyone in this side of the bracket that you think could maybe make a Sweet 16, Elite 8 run?
I won't say you talked about USC. I think that could be a potential dark horse. Coming as a 6 seed in that bracket, they've had a pretty strong resume this year, shockingly. 3 of their 7 losses they've had was against Colorado, who came in as the 5 seed. They got a guy, Evan Mobley, I believe is his name, potential lottery pick in the NBA draft. They're great rebound and shot blocking teams, so that could be a potential problem for teams. So we'll see.
I don't really like anybody on that side on the West that are lower than 4, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Oregon. They're the 7th seed out there. And just the other teams that are lower ranked than 7, I just don't really see with a chance to push it.
Yeah, I feel like Oklahoma and Missouri, they're typically tournament teams that don't really make noise. Creighton, I think, honestly, I don't think Creighton has I think they're 0-8 in the last 8 attempts in the round of 32. So even if they win, I don't think they get past either Virginia or Ohio, whoever it might be. I mean, and that's just straight statistics. And, it's just their luck that they're a 5 seed, in the classic 5-12 matchup. I think Eastern Washington is an interesting one to watch. I know Kansas has actually turned it up a lot. And I think when it comes to this time of the year, I actually trust coaching to take over. We've seen that a lot in the past where, we saw 7 seed Kentucky about maybe 4 or 5 years ago make a run, and Wichita State made a run. Who was the coach of Wichita State back in the day? He had all those issues now. Can't think of his name. Greg or something. I can't remember his name, but he had the slick back hair. I just think coaching actually does come into play in this tournament a lot. I think Kansas might be okay. Let's go to the East real quick where Michigan.
Greg Marshall.
Greg Marshall.
Greg Marshall.
Marshall.